There is a number most people are chasing right now. A salary, a revenue target, a monthly income goal. They believe that when they hit that number, something will change. More freedom, more time, more control over their own life. For most people, hitting that number makes things worse. Not because they failed. You build income. And then, quietly, systemically, your life builds obligations around that income. You are not free. You are just more expensive to maintain. This is an architecture problem. And the architects are your own decisions, your own identity, your own psychological responses to earning more. Why earning more, without understanding this specific mechanism, almost always produces less freedom. And what the people who actually escape this pattern do differently. Freedom is not the same as income. This sounds obvious. Most people would agree immediately. Somewhere in the architecture of how we are raised to think about money, these two concepts get fused together. More money equals more options. More options equals more freedom. The assumption is that your expenses, your identity, your obligations, and your psychological baseline will remain constant as your income grows. They never do. Each one creates a new floor below which you begin to feel discomfort. Each one subtly redefines what normal means to you. There is a term behavioral economists use for this: lifestyle inflation. But that term is too gentle. When your income increases, a series of psychological and social mechanisms activate simultaneously. Each one expands your cost base. You are earning 3 times what you earned 5 years ago and feel less financially secure than you did then. Not because you were irresponsible. Not because of a character flaw. Because nobody explained that income and freedom move in opposite directions, no. Unless you actively, deliberately, structurally intervene. You get a raise. Stage 1, relief. The immediate pressure eases. You breathe differently for a few weeks. Stage 2, normalization. The new income level starts to feel like the baseline. The relief fades. This is what it is now. Stage 3, expansion. A better apartment, a newer car. Dinners that used to feel like a treat become routine. Your standards shift. Stage 4, obligation crystallization. The expanded lifestyle is no longer optional. It is load-bearing. Reversing any of it would feel like failure. Stage 5, the pressure inversion. You now need to maintain or grow your income just to stay in place. Every stage feels like progress. Every expansion feels justified. The trap does not feel like a trap. It feels like success, till the day you do the math and realize your monthly obligations have grown at exactly the same rate as your income. That gap is your freedom. And for most people, it is not growing. It is staying exactly the same while everything else gets more expensive. While everything else gets more expensive. This is the mechanism. 5 stages. Each one feeling like progress. All of them building the same trap. There is a layer deeper than lifestyle inflation. It is the identity cost. Your identity now has a minimum viable budget. When your income reaches a certain level, your social identity begins to reorganize itself around that level. Certain environments, certain clothes, certain ways of spending time. None of this is vanity. Below that budget, you do not just feel uncomfortable financially, you feel uncomfortable existentially. Like you are losing something about who you are. High-income people report similar levels of financial anxiety to people in the middle quintile. They are asset poor and identity expensive. The cost of maintaining their identity has grown faster than their actual assets. Their peer group has moved. Their internal standard of what constitutes financial safety has moved. And calling it success. A freedom unit is a month of your current life funded without you working. Your actual current life. Funded completely. How many freedom units do you have right now? For most high-income people, the answer is between 1 and 3 months, sometimes less. They earn well. They spend accordingly. Their savings rate is low because their cost base is high. They are 1 bad quarter away from stress. 1 health crisis away from restructuring everything. The person earning $40,000 with a $10,000 cost base has more freedom units than the person earning $200,000 with a $180,000 cost base. Freedom is measured in time, not income. This is the equation most financial content refuses to give you directly. The financial content you consume is largely funded by industries that benefit from your spending. Nobody profits from you building freedom units. The car company profits from your car. The bank profits from your mortgage. Your freedom costs them revenue. You are 45 years old, earning more than you ever imagined, and realizing you are less free than you were at 22 with almost nothing. Now you know what you are actually building toward. Not a number, a stack of freedom units. The people who maintain freedom as income grows treat freedom units as the primary metric, not income. Every financial decision gets filtered through one question. Does this increase or decrease my freedom units? A raise that comes with 60 more hours of work per month does not increase freedom units. It decreases them. The income went up, the freedom went down. A business that produces income without requiring your daily presence increases freedom units, even if the income is smaller than a high-salary job. An asset that generates passive cash flow increases freedom units. A luxury purchase that increases monthly obligations decreases them. The social reward system around you is calibrated to celebrate income and lifestyle, not freedom units. They ask where you're going on holiday, what car you're driving. The metrics being celebrated are the ones that erode freedom. When you calculate it honestly, it reveals that years of hard work and increasing income have produced almost no additional freedom. That realization is not comfortable, but it is the only one that leads somewhere different. Now you know what you are actually building toward. It is status vertigo, the psychological disorientation that occurs when you consider reducing your lifestyle to build freedom units. It feels like falling. Even if the math is completely rational, the body responds to a threatened status reduction the same way it responds to a physical threat. Your mind immediately generates reasons why this particular moment is not the right time, why your situation is different. And so it fights, loudly, with every rationalization it can generate. Humans who lost status in tribal environments faced real consequences. The brain does not know you are considering downsizing your apartment. This is why understanding the income freedom trap intellectually is almost never enough to escape it. The intervention has to be structural, pre-decided, built into your financial architecture before the emotional response can override it. The same principle Munger used, applied to a different trap. The trap just looks different this time. It wears the face of success. Automated savings, fixed freedom unit targets, hard rules that do not negotiate with status vertigo in the moment, not discipline. Architecture. You now have both the diagnosis and the architecture. The only remaining question is whether you build it. Most people spend the first half of their working lives building a lifestyle. They call it building wealth. The correct equation is not income minus expenses equals savings. The correct equation is everything else is a story you tell yourself about your net worth while the treadmill gets faster. They treat freedom as the asset they are building, and income as the tool they are using to build it. They let their lifestyle lag behind their income deliberately, not forever, not dramatically, but enough to widen the gap. That gap is the space inside which actual decisions become possible, where you can say no to the wrong opportunity because you do not need the money, where you can disappear for 3 months and build something new because your life does not collapse without your daily presence. That is freedom. Not the number, not the lifestyle, the gap. Most people will spend their entire career chasing the number while shrinking the gap. The question is not whether this is happening to you. The question is whether you are going to keep calling it success.